Alright, if you don't know, there's a certain man who just recently got medically cleared in the lightweight division to continue fighting after a terrible ACL break. And that man is who we're going to discuss today, and that man's name is Rafael Fiziev. Alright, now why am I talking about Rafael Fiziev? He's just a random guy in lightweight, and he's balding. Well, the reason why I want to talk about him is because, quite honestly, he's one of my favorite fighters. Now, I know that might be a hot take because he did recently lose to Gaethje, arguably. Okay, you could say, just saying, takedown in the final 10 seconds doesn't mean shit. Just saying. But very close fight. I do think Gaethje won, but I thought it was pretty close. A lot of people agree it was close. But moving on. Yeah. I kind of just wanted to talk about his return, what that means for the division, what are the possibilities. He made some callouts, really good fucking callouts, and I don't think they're realistic. So I'm going to kind of go through the top three that I think he's going to actually get, starting with the most likely, then, like, maybe, if it gets a little, back and forth and there's, maybe we don't hear anything from them for, a couple months. Probable. And then, like, the least likely, but I would personally like to see. Alright. So, if we take a look at the rankings, just for context, Rafael Fiziev is ranked 9 right now. Yes, I do think rankings matter. Maybe that's a hot take. But, seems to be nowadays. But, yeah, I think rankings matter, so I don't think he should just jump into the top 5. I think he has to prove that his ACL won't just snap in half, And Tom Aspinall had the same problem, and if Fiziev comes back like Tom Aspinall, we might have another lightweight goat on our fucking hands with Fiziev here. But yeah. So, he is technically on a 2-fight skid, I recognize that, but he is also like a top-ranked sorta. Wow, they're tied? What is this horse shit? Why is Max Holloway 9? Bro, Max Holloway should be like fucking... What? Gaethje's 3? Yo, what is the UFC doing, bro? Anyways, I don't want to see Fiziev fight outside of the top 10, because I think he proved that he's top 10. He still has a win over Moicano. That has aged very well. I can't remember. Did he fight RDA? I don't remember. Did he actually fight RDA? He did fight RDA. True. And it was a knockout. Oh, shit. Yeah. So, he has wins over 2 people in the bottom 15. I don't think he needs to waste time, alright, with these bottom 15 bums, alright? But I do think, he still needs to be tested. So, the first fight I want to see out of Rafael Fiziev, by the way, before he was ranked number 9 right now, tied with Max Holloway, which is still weird. He's been out for almost 2 years, and I believe he was I think he was number 5 or he was number 6. Bro, being under Michael Chandler is a crime. What the fuck? Bro, this guy's have fought in like 3 years. Anyways, yeah. Fiziev, I want to see his matchup, and I want to see the first matchup against Mateusz Gamrot. Now, I know what you're saying. What? That doesn't make any sense. Gamrot's much higher. Wait, is he actually that higher? Oh, no, he's right above him. Oh, shit. Well, that doesn't make much sense. They had a fight, and, he clearly won. No, he didn't win, dumbass. He was getting lit up on the feet, and then Fiziev's ACL fucking blew out, alright? Big fucking difference, alright? Some morons that actually think Gamrot was gonna win that. I want to see this again. I think Gamrot gets knocked out. I think it's the first time we're gonna see him get knocked out. Fiziev's got that pop, and I think he needs to prove he still has that pop, and what better way than against Mateusz Gamrot. Now, I will admit, it's a little bit of a risky fight because of, the ACL break, so if Gamrot gets the grappling going, which he no doubt has to rely on now that he knows he's not a striker, thank you, Dan Hooker, yeah, because he knows he's not a striker anymore, he's gonna get shit on in this fight if he wants to fucking stand and bang with Fiziev. I think we all can admit that now. Mateusz Gamrot, he did have a great win. How does he have 8 knockouts? What? Anyways, great. Oh, they rolled it at a TKO, didn't they? What a bullshit fight, man. Let Fiziev get this one back, you know? If he beats Gamrot, his only loss, I believe, will be, how many losses does he have? He has 3 losses. Okay, well, that's not that bad. But his only loss in the UFC will be against, Gaethje. And then he'll have a, you know, he won't really need to fight Gaethje. Maybe Gaethje will do it for his last fight, but I think it's too soon. I don't think it's realistic. I think Gamrot is the play. I think it's the most realistic, too, because of the way their fight ended, and they're both coming off losses, so they both need to prove themselves as actual prospects. I think Gamrot got fraud checked by Hooker, that I called perfectly, by the way. You know, just saying. If you're looking for predictions, I'm not doing too bad. Just saying, you know. But yeah, I do think this is the most realistic, personally. They'll just reschedule it. I don't see why not. I mean, Gamrot's boring, and I don't think Dana White wants Gamrot as a champion, and that's why he never got his title shot. I think this is a way to kind of, like, keep digging the grave. You know what I mean? That's where I see that going. Moving on to the second fight. Beneil Dariush. Now, this is one of his callouts. I do think this one's realistic. My only problem with this fight is that I don't think Beneil Dariush is just ever fighting again. I think he's done, to be honest with you. I think he'll fight like one top 15 guy, like maybe a Paddy Pimblett, you know, for a big check or something, and then maybe get submitted and then probably retire. That's like kind of where I'm leaning towards. I just don't think Beneil's got it in him. I know he looks like 36 or 40, but he's actually like, I think 33. He's not that old. He's actually not that old. He's, you know, his hair is just gray, unfortunately. And he has a win over Gamrot, so I think it would be a nice thing on Fizievs' record to have a win over Beneil Dariush if he can't get that Gamrot fight. Plus, Gamrot also recently lost, and Fiziev recently got medically cleared. So give like Fiziev like a month of training and then get him into a fighting camp for this. That's my recommendation. Beneil Dariush, similar situation, but like Beneil just doesn't fight, and I think he's just done with the sport. That's why I don't think this one's realistic, and I don't think Beneil would sign to that. A really dangerous striker on the feet who has great takedown defense. Yeah, that doesn't sound good for Beneil Dariush. I'm just gonna be honest, you know. Not that Beneil's the type of guy to say no, but I just don't think he wants to. You know, maybe he'll say yes, but the UFC won't do it. Sort of situation. That's what I'm thinking. Just because like Gamrot would be available. And what? Where is he? Beneil's 7. Yeah, it's not bad for like rankings terms, but I don't think that's a great comeback fight either. Because if you knock out Beneil at this point, it's like, okay, who hasn't? You know, unfortunately, I like Beneil. You know, I was really into Beneil after the Charles Oliveira fight because I actually recognized that he's really good, just doesn't have a great chin, and I picked him against the Arman Sarukian fight. So you know, that did not end well for me. But yeah. Yeah, I picked Oliveira in the Beneil fight, but then I picked Arman. Yeah, it's just, it is what it is. But, you know, I like Beneil. I just don't think he's fighting anymore. I think it'd be a cool fight. I just don't think it's that realistic. I think it's less realistic than a Gamrot rematch, personally. That's how I see it. I just don't think the UFC wants Beneil to get more brain damage than he has. I don't think Beneil's dumb enough to fight one of the one of the most dangerous strikers in the division with great takedown defense. I just don't think that's a wise decision when your chin's fading, you know? But who knows? Maybe Beneil comes back and he has a great chin, whatever. You know, rooting for the guy, but I don't think he wants to fight this, oh my god, bro, those pecs, I'm just saying. Anyways, moving on to the third and final fight that I want to see. I don't think this one's realistic, but I would love to see it. Dan the Hangman Hooker. Now, I know what you might be thinking, but he did call out Dan Hooker, so why is that fight unrealistic? Well, Dan Hooker recently said he's taking his career seriously, and he's not going to give his title shot away. It would be a sick fight. I don't think Dan Hooker doesn't want to fight Fiziev, but I think Dan Hooker wants to focus on a title shot and then see what happens. He really wants to get that gold because it's more money. They could pay Fiziev and Hooker the absolute fucking bag in order to fight, and I think they would probably take it, only because Hooker's kind of just in it for money. He said it himself. No issues with that whatsoever. If you want to fight for money, you want to fight for money. It is what it is. But I think it'd be a fucking banger. You know what I mean? I think it would be sick to watch because we wouldn't get any moments like Gamrot where it's just fucking hugging. Hooker's not gonna hug. Fiziev's not gonna hug. And I think it'll be an all-out war. Now, is it too early for Fizievs to come back for that all-out war? Probably, but I think it'd be fucking funny as shit to watch. You know, I don't even know who I'd pick in that fight. I'd have to give it some time. But I think that'd be an easy way to get him, get Fiziev back to like where he kind of earns or deserves, and that's top 5, in my opinion. I think that'd be the way to do it. But Hooker wants to focus on his career. Fiziev doesn't. I don't think Fiziev really wants to get into an all-out war. I think he's down for it, but I don't think like his coaches want him to get into an all-out war. On his first fight back after an ACL tear, but he doesn't. The problem with Fiziev is that there's not a lot of safe fights for him right now, other than rematches. Holloway, that's not even a question right now. Gamrot, that's probably the safest one, but Gamrot could do some fucky shit and break his ACL again. You know, that voodoo magic they have in, I think, Georgia, or wherever the fuck he's from. Beneil Dariush, he just doesn't fight. I don't think it's going to happen. I think that'd be the best stylistically for him and the easiest layup, but I just don't think it's going to happen. Chandler doesn't fight. Hooker's a warrior. Dustin Poirier is a warrior. Justin Gaethje just fought. Charles Oliveira, I think there's rumors of him fighting like in welterweight for someone. I don't fucking know. But Charles Oliveira is way too high. 2-9. You know, Fiziev's not Dagestani, so they wouldn't give him that treatment. And then if we look even lower, you know, Max Holloway, not an option. Moicano, he knocked out. Benoit Saint Denis, maybe, but I think Benoit has a fight with... Who does he have it with? Oh, Moicano. Right. Right. True. Right? I think so. Yeah, he has that coming up. Jalen Turner... I mean, maybe... But I feel like that's giving Jalen Turner a layup when Jalen Turner needs to prove that he even deserves to be fucking ranked, you know? Or Paddy Pimblett. Wouldn't mind the Paddy fight, but I think Paddy's just going to wait until these two big boys fight, and then, you know, Paddy's going to call one of them out. But, yeah, that's what I think. I think Fiziev Gamrot is what to do next. I think that's the most realistic. I think it makes the most sense. I think both of them want to do it. I think Gamrot wants to prove that he can actually still fight. I think Gamrot and his little small pea-head brain thinks that it's smart for him to fight a guy he's beat before by TKO. And I think Fiziev is fucking hungry for that revenge. So yeah, I think that's the play. Kind of just wanted to get my thoughts and opinions. Not much going on this week other than UFC 306, the Sphere. But yeah. Yeah, these are my thoughts and opinions. That's how I think Fiziev is going to get his next fight. That's how I think, you know, they're going to do the matchmaking. That's what I think is realistic. But, yeah, if you made it to the end of the video, I want to thank you for watching. And as always, I hope you have a great day.